If you consider that you'd look at your factory gauges more often than your vehicle's radio controls, then it would make sense that a great-looking set of colorful and sporty gauges can really improve the appearance of your vehicle's interior. Fortunately, it's very easy to replace the dull, factory black gauge panel to be more colorful and sporty looking. Manufacturers such as US Speedo in Flint, Michigan offers a gauge panel replacement kit that is available in a variety of styles and colors to really update and accent your vehicle's dash. We spoke with Harry Brink, who gave us a good idea on the popular gauge panel styles and what tools are needed to do the upgrade.
This is a new product that US Speedo just came out with. This is a fairly quick and easy installation, and what this is stainless steel gauges that we basically found a way to anodize them and turn them blue. It's called our Aqua Series. It's available for all the newer trucks, available for Chevy, Ford, and GMC as well. And it's a fairly simple install. It took us about 15-20 minutes to shoot this install video, and this is all the tools that we used. It's cotton gloves to protect the stainless, a needle removal tool, and a gauge ink pen to mark the needles, and a 7mm ratchet to remove the 4 screws that are around the instrument cluster holding it in. And there's just this piece just snaps right off and snaps right back on. So it's a installation that can be done. The average consumer can install this themselves.
Brink went on to install the new gauge panel on his 2004 GMC Yukon, changing the factory black gauge panel to their newest Aqua Series gauge. The US Speedo kit includes the new stainless steel gauge panel that has been anodized aqua blue and features a more sporty appearance. The kit also comes with new gauge needles and a plastic tool that is also used as a measuring gauge for the needle installation. Brink began the installation by taking out a diagram of the instrument cluster, where he marked the position of the needles as a reference point. To access the gauge cluster, the ignition key is turned to the on position, which allows the gear selector to be moved to the lowest position. The instrument cluster can be removed by loosening the 4 small bolts that secure it to the dash. Once all of the bolts are removed, the entire instrument cluster is pulled away from the dash. You'll also notice that the wiring harness behind the cluster must be unplugged to fully remove the unit. With the entire cluster out of the vehicle, Brink then unclipped the lens to remove it from the assembly. All of the needles were then adjusted to their most bottom position, and they were each removed with the provided pry tool. Once all of the needles were out, the instrument overlay could be peeled away from the cluster. Brink put on the provided cotton gloves and applied the new gauge face to the cluster, making sure it fit over the factory mounting tabs. The cluster was then taken back to the vehicle, where the needles were installed partway onto the gauge shaft using the diagram we marked earlier as a guide. The cluster is plugged into the harness to reset the gauge, then removed to allow for easier access to the needles. It's here where any fine-tuning adjustments to the needles will be made to ensure they match the diagram. With all of the needles properly pointing to the right place, Brink used the install tool as a gauge to push the needles down to the correct height on the gauge shaft. The gauge cluster is then again plugged into the harness, and after observing that everything is in working order, the new lens is installed over the cluster, and the entire assembly is bolted back into the dash. The factory dash surround was reinstalled, and our gauge makeover was complete. The Aqua Series gauges dramatically improved the appearance of this vehicle, and considering the options that US Speedo offers, there's a style and color to fit any taste. For more information on the US Speedo gauge upgrades, log on to www.usspeedo.com or click on the link below.